Hey folks, this is Vint with Dad's Gaming Addiction, and yes, October Next Fest is here. This is a collection of demos for upcoming games. They are free to try, so if you like anything that you see here, head on over to Steam and check them out. Tonight I played a total of 3 different demos, and I thought I would feature them into one video just to keep things easy to see. If you like this format, then hey, I'll be happy to make more. So the first game that I want to quickly take a look at is a cute little digital board game called Beacon Patrol. I'm unaware of any sort of tabletop game that is directly like this, but it kind of is inspired by Carcassonne and other tile-laying games. You've got a boat that you're going to be moving around, and you've got a hand of 3 tiles. You'll be laying these tiles down on your turn. You can also move a total of 4 times on your turn as well. You can discard tiles that you have in your hand in order to get an extra movement point. Where your ship is will determine where you can play. You can only play tiles that are orthogonal to you, and there are some other rules. For example, you have to, whenever you play a tile, connect land to land and sea to sea as far as like on its sides, adjacency-wise. You also can't build through land. Like, your boat has to be able to move to the tile that you end up placing. And you score points in this game by completely surrounding tiles up, down, left, and right, orthogonal. You get extra points if the tiles that you surround are like beacons or houses. I don't know the exact point values. I didn't pay that close attention. But yeah, ultimately, you're trying to not leave any donuts, meaning like you're trying to surround as many things as possible. In order to do that, you want to fill a grid without leaving too many holes or straying too far from the middle of the table, which is something I just did. I mean, this game was a lot harder than it looked. There were no difficulty settings. There were no ways to like customize my experience at all, and that's something I hope the developer plans to add later on. But it's a cute little puzzle game. I enjoy little things like this. This is a game that, you can play for like 15-20 minutes and then turn it off and go play something else. Maybe, on a lunch break. I don't know if it's available on mobile or will be, but this feels like the perfect, pocket phone game. Again, you play on the bus or something, and then, it's over before you get there, all that good stuff. So, yeah, I enjoyed this one. Like I said, lack of customization options is, kind of disappointed me a little bit, but it is a demo. You just keep playing until you run out of tiles. You have, so many tiles in the deck, and when you run out, you receive a score. There's no permanent progression or anything like that. That's another kind of thing, but again, the game doesn't really advertise that, which is fine, I guess. The one I'm really excited about is another game called SpellRogue. This is one I have on my wish list, and this is a Slay the Spire-like game that involves dice. You're going to pick a character, and in the demo, there's only one to choose from. You're going to be rolling dice on your turn and then assigning them to different spells on the bottom of your screen. Certain spells are like, oh, you can only put a 3, 4, 5, or 6 here. And sometimes the value of the die that you place will determine its spell power. For example, the Ice Spear spell that I have, by placing a 4 there, it does 4 damage. Whereas if I have another spell that's like 3 to 6, but it always does 1 poison damage or something like that. Like, every spell's different. And if you've played Slay the Spire and other rogue-like/light games before, this format will be very familiar to you. Above the enemy's heads, it'll tell you what it will do on its next turn, so you can plan accordingly. Oh, it's going to do 4 damage. Let me assign enough dice so I can block it, and then maybe the rest of the dice I'll assign damage. There's some strategy in what you do. Eventually, you'll pick up potions, and you can use these potions as a one-off kind of thing. You'll be earning money as you play as well, so that you can buy new spells and other items as you go. After every combat, you'll be able to choose between different spells that you can add to your inventory. If you go over your hand limit of spells, then you'll have to pick and choose which ones to sort of put in your backpack and the rest to put out. I really liked this when I played it. I haven't played it all the way through, but this is a game I would definitely play the heck out of. When it comes to digital dice games and dungeon crawls and all, I'm all over it. I like Slay the Spiral already, but I feel like the whole 3 mana a turn and a bunch of cards in your hand, like that's been done to death. At least dice, mix it up a bit and give me a bit more options. Do I put this 6 here on this one-off attack, or do I add the 6 to this spell that requires a total of 10 points added to it before it'll activate? I like little decision-making stuff like that. And the enemies, they're, so far, I didn't have any complaints. They did different things. One of them spawned a bunch of creatures that I hated. Other ones just flat out attacked me or debuffed me in different ways. But all in all, I love it. There's also shard earning in this game where you can upgrade your spells. So, like, you can slot it so that, okay, instead of needing 10 points of dice here to activate, you can just turn it into a 6. Just put a 6 here and it'll activate. Or maybe just flat out extra damage, or flat out extra this, or whatever. And it seems like the spells in this game also have, like, a rarity system. So, all in all, like, from what little I did play, I really want to see more. Like, I wanna unlock more characters. I want to see all the different spells. I want to see what I can chain. I can't say enough good things about that. The last one I touched on was Last Train Home. This is like, it's a cross between like an RTS and a train management like fear equation by Screwfly. I love that you can customize your difficulty a lot. Like, you can set fuel and food consumption to 50% or 100%. Like, I love sliders. Easy, normal, hard is fine, but if I can adjust sliders to my liking, that's like, 3+ marks in my book, okay? Like, I'm all about the customization. I love that. If the developers can add even more to this to make it even more customizable, I'll be super happy. There's a lot here already. I'm just saying, I would love to see more ways to modify your game to your liking. But in a demo, like, I was very surprised to see something like this. Very few games do that nowadays. Anyway, I digress. What are you going to be doing in this game? Well, you're going to be flopping back and forth between a train view and a squad-based view. In the squad-based view, you're going to have, say, 5 people in your group, something like that. And each one has a class, and each class has a different ability. There is a cover system in this game. There's light cover, heavy cover, like in, say, Company of Heroes, typical of an RTS game like this. I didn't feel like the combat was very satisfying. Like, if you compare, say, Company of Heroes 2 to something like this, Company Heroes 2, like the sounds and the gunshots, like this felt, it felt like, I don't know, like the effects of this were kind of dumbed down in favor of the whole, train management aspect of the game. Everyone spoke in, I don't know what language it was, Bohemian, maybe? Anyway, like, so it was it was a lot of talking. Like, I noticed that there was I feel like my entire playthrough was scripted. I hope that the developers will add some kind of sandbox mode so that, like, I can it'll randomly generate a map and I can just sort of survive that way. I hope it's not all story driven. I'll be very disappointed if that's the case. But anyway, getting back to the whole squad thing, each squad member has a different ability. One can throw grenades, one can pull out this machine gun and mow people down. There's even a stealth mode that you can activate. You walk slower, but then you can walk behind other enemies and knife them. There's a tactical planner mode where, once you hit spacebar, you'll be able to kind of go, okay, I can assign this guy to do this guy to do this. If you've played any sort of, like, squad-based stealth game, then you'll be very familiar with how that all works. I don't remember, Shadow Tactics, I think, might be one game that I played that was kind of similar to that. But yeah, spacebar, tactical mode, that's where everything pauses and you can go, okay, I want this guy to go here, this guy to go here, this guy to go here, or maybe knife 2 people at the same time so that, you don't have to quickly do it in real time. This part was okay. While you're doing that, you're going to be picking up supplies. That's the part I was really interested in. Like, the combat to me fell flat because, like, other games do it way better. I'm more interested in the supplies hoarding, survival element that this game brings to it. And I don't know. Honestly, I wouldn't know if I would buy this day one. Like, if I got a press copy, sure, but I'm kind of skeptical on it. Like, again, if there's no sandbox mode, I'm gonna be like, well, once I play through it, then if it is all scripted, then that means there should be enough supplies for everyone for the entire playthrough. It's just a matter of, like, efficiently finding them and managing things just right. To me, that's boring. Like, I would hope that the game does add some kind of procedural generation to this so that I can replay it as many times as I want and, I don't know, just, try out different approaches and see different things. But if it's all scripted, I don't know how I would feel about it, honestly. Again, what excites me the most about this particular game is the whole train management aspect, and I only touched on this briefly in my playthrough. While you're on the train, you can level up your soldiers, and you can assign them different attribute points. I like that part. That's kind of cool. And there's different resources that you're going to be picking up in the environment. There's like food and fuel and wood, metal. There's like, I want to say 7 or 8 different resources that you'll be picking up in the environment. That part I'm the most interested in. Like, I want to see how the game plays from a survival standpoint. So this one was kind of middle of the road for me tonight. Like, SpellRogue was my favorite. This one was, next in line. And again, I didn't mind the first one I covered, but like, it was just one of those quick 15-20 minute things. Hopefully the developer adds more to that one. But all in all, like, I was satisfied with what I played tonight, and I sincerely hope that, these continue to be worked on, and, I look forward to playing more of them. So again, if you guys want to see more videos like this, like covering a couple of demos in one video, then I'll continue doing it, but the view count is ultimately what will determine that. The more support I get, the more willing I'll be to do more stuff like this. Well, this is Vince. Thanks for watching. I'll catch y'all next time. Take care.